so like I quick snuck in there.
Oh shoot. Michelle usually reminds me. I totally forgot about that off the email.
Maybe she's still getting it together. I don't know.
She always signs me up for it.
Yeah.
So I need to just find out. I'll buy some.
It feels kind of late because like I know because like Elizabeth's gonna come back next weekend. That's probably when we'll go. Or we'll probably go to Bronner's. We'll go to Frankenmuth again. Hopefully not do the chicken meal because like I cannot do that meal again. Like it's too heavy for me,
dude. I looked because we got today. They announced. I thought because I didn't know where Mizzou was going to end up for their bowl game, so like I was holding out. Then I looked for flights to Dallas. Dude, they're all booked. I mean, there's so many flights to Dallas, and they're all booked except for like ones that have 4 stops.
Oh dang! Oh dang!
So I'm like, dude, I am not flying to Minneapolis and then to Nashville. Taking off at 6 a.m. and getting there like at 2 in the afternoon. Like I can't. Hopefully something open. I want to go. It's against Ohio State, man. That'd be fun.
Yeah, you might have a shot. Who knows? Like how NCAA works these days. People just back out of games. So like Marvin Harrison Jr. probably won't play. Like a bunch of studs won't play. So
our whole team's playing. I mean, they've already said it. Like there's nobody that's not playing for us. One of our backs is kind of hurt. Like he was hurt at the end, Dennis Rakestraw, but everybody's in. So, and I think their best players against our best players, we beat them. I mean, I think we're a better team. I swear. I mean, overall, I watched them against Michigan. We beat them. I think we beat Michigan. Michigan doesn't have the offense we have, and we have the same defense. We beat Michigan.
Okay.
And Michigan beat Ohio State, so put us in the playoff. When they were throwing up the playoff teams today, I was like, that 4 spot might be a big fat M and not Michigan. It might be this. I was like, no, it's an A, but whatever. And by the way, Florida State got the big hose job. I'll say that. Man, they had a right to be ticked.
I'm done. Well, I'm done with college sports. I'm just going to say that right now. Like, the NCAA is a joke. NIL, transfer portal.
I do hate that. Wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow it opens up.
The whole thing is dumb. Like, this is a dumb thing. They broke their own rules, basically. Don't even get me fired up on this, but they broke their own rules. So, like, I'll donate to Michigan State in a different way. It's not going to be through athletics anymore. I'm just done with college sports. It is so stupid.
You guys, but here's the deal: Michigan State's going to be good at football again in 1 year because of this.
Yeah, well, I'll be out. Someone else can have my tickets.
I'm just saying because you're going to get all the Oregon State players. Watch.
Yeah, but it's dumb. Like I'm not for that. Like Tom Izzo, on the other hand, will build his team the right way.
I agree. I'm more old school. I wish it wasn't that way, but watch. Michigan State's going to go from having this terrible season in 1 year. You guys will definitely be in a bowl game next year, and you'll probably be like, I bet you'll have 9 wins.
Yeah, but I don't like it. It's just not how it should be.
I don't either. I like traditional stuff, but that's just that. I'm telling you, watch. You guys are going to benefit from it. So. But you're right.
I won't benefit because someone else can benefit on my behalf. I won't be participating.
Dude, all I gotta say is those people on the committee they better never go through Tallahassee. That's all I gotta say. I mean, that was just. I mean, trust me, I want Bama in, but I'm glad they're playing. But holy cow, like you go 13-0, man. That's just rough. It's
dumb.
Because that. The thing is, Mizzou gets the screws like that all the time. Like, I don't know how they feel. Like, that always happens to us. Like,
so Mizzou's had an undefeated season and got shut out of the college football playoff?
Whenever it goes like it could go one way or the other, it always goes the wrong way for us every single
Not quite to that level.
Not to that level, but if we had been in that spot, guaranteed that's what would have happened. It would have happened to us for sure. Like, nope, I wouldn't even have sweated it because it would have. Just saying. Anyway. All right. We might have so we might have a spammer, but we'll have to watch.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take care of it now because I just think that's
a good idea because we don't need people telling us what to do. All right, so let me get the recording.
All the YouTube ones seem to be spammers. They just come out of where I don't even know where they come from, man.
YouTube is a pain in the rear. Oh yeah, I should probably do recording. Okay, here we go. But I love talking to you about it because you get it, and we can talk about these things without. I get fired up too, trust me. But I appreciate your take. Okay, here we go. Well, hey, everybody! Welcome to the BOGP Open Line for Sunday night, December 3rd, 2023. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Sunday night to you, or Thursday if you're checking out the replay here on the feed. Hope you had a great weekend, and holy cow, we're in December. We are 1 month away for the Lizards, for all of us heading down to Walt Disney World to start what is going to be a really kind of unprecedented for many of us marathon weekend, bi-coastal marathon weekend this year. It's coming around. I mean, this is going to be a quick month, and all of a sudden we're going to be getting those sneakers on and running a lot of miles and making lots of memories. So we could talk about that tonight. We got lots to talk about. We could talk about past celebrations like we talked about on Friday. I also have one more topic to bring to the table as well. But before we do that, let's get my brother from another mother in here. We're talking a little football in the pre-show, but tonight we're talking Disney. So joining me today, your friend and mine up in Michigan, Scotty G. What's up, Scott?
Hey, Mike. Happy to be here. It's crazy. It is. You talk about marathon weekend is actually 3 weeks until Christmas Eve. That just kind of blows my mind. When you said December 3rd, December 24th gets here pretty darn quick. So hope everyone's preparing and getting ready for their time with loved ones and, you know, all the holidays, you know, that are happening. You know, December's a busy month, man. It goes by so fast, and then boom, it's New Year's.
I agree. And I was just thinking about this because I've said this on the show for years. I'm a terrible shopper. My wife is the perfect shopper. She always thinks of like the perfect thoughtful gift, right? When you get a gift from my wife, it's always something that is appreciated and that is something that, you know, like I needed that, you know, it's something that fits. And I'm the opposite. Like she says I'm not observant. I don't listen. And so I'm in panic mode. Once December sets in, all the commercials start hitting, you know, real hard. I start to get nervous. So I thought one of the topics we might talk about tonight is favorite kind of smaller shopping locations on property at Walt Disney World or Disneyland, but I'm more familiar with the ones at World. Like those stores that you like to go to, not World of Disney, because that's where you can lose a kid. And I've lost kids in World of Disney, especially before the refurb a few years back. But like, for example, one of my favorite places to shop at Walt Disney World, Coronado Springs, that store over there. I love that store for some reason. They got a lot of good merch that says Coronado Springs. It's got a wide variety of, just good stuff. I mean, it doesn't seem like they have a lot of junk. They have a lot of good stuff, wide variety. I like shopping there. And it's just kind of a wide open store. But I thought we'd talk about that. I got to give the phone number so we can open up the phone lines. It is 407-413-9395, 407-413-9395. You want to give us a call because we want to take your calls because we missed you last week because Page basketball and all that stuff down at SLU. Tough loss, but we're not going to talk about that today.
So the chat is like already like spammed like crazy. I've had to block 4 people already tonight. So Mike, if I'm not like engaged that much when the caller's online, it's because I'm trying to take care of that. Like it is just unbelievable what I've seen the first 5 minutes already tonight.
Yeah, but I was on it too while I was talking there. I was multitasking.
It's distracting a little bit, yeah. But speaking of those stores, so yeah, I like the Coronado one. I think it needs to be bigger though, because how that resort has expanded so much, you know, with the tower. I think that store just needs a little bit more. Not quite like the Riviera. The Riviera shop, as much as I love it, is so small. But they got great artwork in there. So that's going to be the one I'm talking about. Like, I love that shop because you can buy Disney art and have it shipped to your home, which we've done a couple times. We have a couple pieces in the home from there, and they have great Riviera DVC merchandise specifically, but it is so small. You know how small it is, like during the early days of the pandemic, because of the social distancing, like you could only have like 4 people at a time in that shop because it's so small. But that's one of my favorite ones to go to for sure.
So I really don't understand that though, because Riviera was built, you know, like from the ground up as a tower. I mean, this is a massive hotel. I mean, this hotel is big. It's got a ton of rooms, and you're not kidding. That store, it's like they found a closet to build the store. I don't understand that one, you know, because it's a revenue producing spot. You know, why not make that bigger? I do not get that.
The art thing, I mean, the art is what I love the most about it too, is just how you can just sit at this kiosk and customize it. I believe they still do a pass holder discount. They may not, they may have gotten rid of that, but one summer, Mike, they were doing 30% off for DVC and pass holders, and I got 30% off the art, which was an unbelievable deal. But yeah, I just can't get over. I can't get over like you almost said they want to like reconstruct that, right? Like if they could start over. But to your point, they had a clean plate and they still built the tiniest gift shop. Just don't understand it.
Yeah, that's one that just blows me away. So we're getting good feedback. Christy Woody in the live chat on Facebook says she loves gift shops at the Contemporary and the Boardwalk. I agree. The Contemporary gift shop, love it. Because one thing is it's large. Is it LBV? I think is what it's called.
Like Buena Gifts, maybe LBG.
I always get it mixed up. I always call BBG.
Buena Vista Gifts, BVG.
Yes. Here's the thing though. It's got like a mini confectionery in it, right? It's got like Rice Krispie treats and fudge and stuff like that. And it's big and it's got like nice men's shirts and women's nice clothes and kids' clothes. And it's got luggage. It's got homeware. It's got like a wide variety of stuff. I think you like that shop too.
It's one of my favorites. And I just love the resort specific merchandise too. You can find a lot of great contemporary stuff in that store. And which is something I go for. That's why, like, I think even if you on a day where you don't have a park ticket, I think resort hopping is such a cool thing to do because you can go through all these gift shops, right? And just like, oh, like I can get a Pop Century pin or something, and then I can go over to All Stars and get something over there. Like, I just love how, and that was missing for a long time too, Mike. When in my early days of going to Walt Disney World, it was like you would find 2012 contemporary, or not even contemporary, it would just be like 2012 Walt Disney World, next year 2013 Walt Disney World. Now we're starting to get more resort specific stuff, which I spend a lot of money on that stuff. So that's they're targeting me. I feel like they're targeting our audience when they do that.
I agree. All right, we have a first call of the night. Hey, who's joining us?
This is Vivian.
Hey, Vivian, how you doing? Thanks for calling in.
Thanks.
How can we help you?
I'm doing fine.
How can we help you?
I'm excited.
What's going on?
The charity named Give Kids the World
Yes.
is going to be online next week, I hear, on the 9th, I believe.
So it's going to be online where? So we can make sure we know about that. So on December 9th, it's going to be where?
Yeah, online everywhere. I'm sure you're going to see advertising for it in the coming week. I hope so. But do you know of the charity?
So I'm unsure of this because one of the things is our contact that we had for years and years over at Give Kids the World, Steven, he left Give Kids the World, right? He told us as we wrapped up our 6-hour live show when we were down there in September. As soon as we wrapped, he said, I wasn't going to tell you before because I didn't want you to be sad while you guys were on the air. I didn't want to shock you. So as soon as we packed up our gear and we were heading to the car, he's like, by the way, this was my last official event at Give Kids World. I'm out of here. I'm like, no, we've been working with you for 6 years, and and we've done such cool stuff, but he's gone. The thing is, he's got young children, and with Give Kids World, he did a lot of traveling around the country promoting the village. And he just took a different position where he could stay home with his kids, which I 100%, you want to be home with your kids. And so he's a great guy. So I haven't heard as much because he used to send me lots of emails with stuff like this, but I have not heard. But what I'll do is I'll get in contact, and Ricky has contacts over there, and find out what it is. Cause obviously that's just in a few days, and see what we can do to find out what's going on.
You know who I know of it from, a guy named Corey.
Yeah.
Corey's online a lot.
Okay.
You know him?
I do know a Corey. Yes. I mean, not personally, but I'm online. I see him.
Yeah. Well, recently my friend, Kevin Sparrow online.
Okay. Yeah, I know Kevin. I mean, I know of them from the other shows.
Oh, you know Kevin?
I don't know them, but I've listened to other shows that Kevin was on back in the day.
Well, Kevin's recently gotten into trying to raise money for the organization also.
Awesome.
So he and I were thinking of coming down to visit somewhere around Christmas because, to see the place. I've never seen it. I heard of it. I've donated to it. I think it's the most wonderful thing in the world. And
it's an amazing
that's what
place.
we
Yeah.
plan.
If you can get over there for just an afternoon or a morning, he's been there with me too. It's an amazing place. Do a 3 or 4 hour volunteer shift. They appreciate it. You get to see the families. It's a really cool place.
I keep hearing that.
It's special.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we
Cool.
appreciate you giving us a holler and letting us know. And thanks for calling in, and you have a great holiday season.
Thank you.
All right. Good talking to you.
You also.
Thank you.
And everyone out there.
Absolutely. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. It's a great call. Love when somebody calls in to help us out with Give Kids World. That's awesome.
For sure.
So Jamie has a question here in the live chat. And again, the number you want to give us a call tonight, give us a ring. I mean, we're therapy for Florida State fans. Apparently Justin's in the chat too. Just drowning his blues. I get it. 407-413-9395. We got our call here. So let's get this. But Jamie's asking about when your trip report for Alani is going to be. Luckily, part 1 hitting the feeds in a mere 2 hours.
Part 1 too. So we were like, oh, let's just talk about
It's
Alani.
long.
I didn't even talk about like half of it. Like so I apologize for the rambling on, but I had a lot to say, a lot of good, positive things to say, and I didn't even get to all of it. And I know we're going to talk about the rest of the island too in some future episodes along the way.
I'll tell you real quick, call. Hang on one sec. Adam, our buddy down in Alabama, he went because he's in Alani right now, and this was a couple days before he was leaving. This a couple nights ago. He went and watched it on YouTube because he was getting ready. He was getting on the plane the next morning to go to Alani.
Oh, that's
funny.
funny.
He seeked it out on YouTube and watched it. And he's like, it was awesome. He's like, I'm so jazzed to go to Alani right now. So,
I mean, that was my goal, right? I was just trying to be a salesman. No, I'm just kidding. No. It's a beautiful place, Jamie. Yeah, definitely listen to Monday's episode, or if you're listening to this on the feed, anyone like it, you may have already heard it. But yeah, can't wait to record the part 2, and hopefully I didn't ramble on too much there. But it was a fun episode.
It was a lot of fun. All right,
one of the best vacations of all time. So
I was so jealous the whole show. Hey, who's joining us?
Hey, Mike. Hey, Scott. It's Jody.
Oh, wait, hang on. We're breaking up here. I think we have an Ohio State fan on the line. Oh, we gotta go.
I promise you, Mike, I'm going to behave. I'm not going to talk about Ohio State. I promise you. Although Landon would want me to. I'm just going to. He's in the shower right now, so he's not up here. So you're lucky.
Oh, my God. He's the biggest smack talker of all time. That'd be the worst.
He is. So he's in the shower, which is why I'm calling.
Thank you.
I need your help.
Okay.
Scotty knows this, and actually, Mike, you know this because you booked the trip for us. We are heading to Alaska this coming summer on a Disney cruise. And what we like to do at Christmas time is surprise our kids with our summer trip and give them clues. So I need help. What clues should I give them that I wrap up to let them know we're going to Alaska on a Disney cruise this year? What ideas do you have?
I was just saying how terrible I am. I'm the world's worst gift giver, and I'm so not creative. I wish I was creative because I'd do something like a guidebook.
Yeah, that's tough. I'm trying to think of like cold weather stuff. Like, can you get them some boots or something? Like, I don't know, or like some gloves.
Yeah. That's it. I was thinking about just some gloves or some ear muffs or something, and I got them. This is so silly. I got them a pack of salmon, like Alaska salmon, like that's in the the tuna that's in the pack. It's not real fresh salmon. That would be gross to pack up, but I got a package of that. So I'm just looking for some things to like give them little clues without them exactly knowing. So I'm hoping the chat comes through or something comes through with some.
Yeah, the chat is definitely coming through for you, Jody.
By the way, we have a Mizzou fan coming through for you right now. Lives in Columbia, Missouri. By the way, one of my great other guests over at the Magic for Less, stuffed whale. That'd be awesome. This is boom. Because they'd be like, what? Because your kids are the perfect age. They can come down Christmas morning. I can just hear your kids. Why is there a stuffed whale under the Christmas tree? Like it'd be like, I don't know. That's weird. Oh yeah, by the way, we're going to Alaska.
Awesome. That would be awesome. The stuffed whale is great. I'm gonna have to look for
a big whale. Yeah, okay. Now where do you find a big stuffed whale? There's your question.
Here's what you do. You go to the BOGP site and you click on the Amazon link, and then you go to Amazon, you look for a gigantic stuffed whale. See, how do you like that, Mike? I'm helping you out.
I appreciate that. That's going to be a logistical nightmare trying to hide a stuffed whale. But
I like the plush moose answer too. I think that's a really good one. All these are actually really good.
Yeah, we got Columbia.
We have plush moose, luckily, because I worked at a summer camp, and Lindsay now works at that same summer camp. And their mascot is a moose, so we've got plenty of moose. So that one I've got covered. But the whale is a good call too. I thought about maybe ice. I mean, it's not going to be special ice that Jared makes, but I do have some ice in my house that I could I thought that would be kind of funny. Like at first I thought shaved ice, but then I thought Lindsay would immediately think Alani.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Alaska.
Yeah, because
you want to trick them.
What if they're disappointed, right? Oh man, we're going to Alaska, not Hawaii. Oh boo! And they're like, no, you're going to Alaska on a cruise. What are you? You ungrateful kids.
I'm sure Jared could hook it up with the ice, though. I'm just saying. I like this idea though. I like the idea of like themes to
ideas because
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Scott. Sorry.
No. I was just kind of recapping. So go ahead.
No, I'm excited, and I'm definitely going to look for some suggestions and ideas. And if anybody has any tips they want to share with us, I'm all here for it, because this is just a different cruise. I mean, DCL is amazing. I've got on my DCL shirt right now. As you guys know, we love DCL, but I feel like Alaska is going to be a whole nother ball game. So
I will say this, because I've not done Alaska yet, because my wife was, and I am so set in my ways, and I know it's a serious character flaw of me. This is just me, right? That's me. Because I didn't go to Disneyland for 15 years because I thought Walt Disney World's got everything I need. I don't need to go anywhere else. Like, it's good. I'm a Disney fan. It's got everything. It's got all the theme parks, got all the it's got everything. Went to Disneyland. I love Disneyland. Like, I am so in love with Disneyland. Like, for this year, for the races, like, I'm excited to go to Walt Disney World, but I keep telling myself I just got to survive the 48.6 miles down there, and then I get to go swing by St. Louis for a few days and then go out to Disneyland and have so much fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to run a half marathon and 10K out there, but man, I get to go to Disneyland. Like, I'm pumped and jazzed for that. So the thing is, like, I've never done an Alaska cruise, but every person, and Mike Bankhead's in the chat, I know he's done one. I think he's done twice actually. And every person that comes back from an Alaska cruise just says it was unreal and it was amazing. Like, everybody raves about it. There's nobody that comes back and says, oh man, it was cold and I didn't like it because it wasn't tropical. Everybody loves it. I mean, to a person. So I guess that's not an issue.
Dennis has been really helpful. One of the listeners and one of fellow Lizard, he's given me some great tips, and everybody's just great. I love our community, and I can't wait to see everybody marathon weekend, but it's going to be a little different for us this time because the kids will be with us. So I mean, I love my kids.
I bring my kid every time.
Disneyland, excited to see you all in Disneyland too.
So you're making the kids get up and go to the race. So are you doing Dopey? I forget, you are, right?
No, I'm just doing Goofy this year.
You slacker. You're only doing 39 miles. That's so bad.
I know.
So are you going to make the kids get up and go out on the course at 5 a.m. or catch a bus at 3? Tell me you are.
Tim's in charge of them for the marathon day, so we'll see exactly what happens. But if they do not meet me in Epcot with the margarita, then everyone is going to get coal in their stocking for the next 10 years in a row, because I have yet to finish a marathon at Walt Disney World with a beverage. So this is my goal in life this year. So if my husband and children do not actually complete this task, then everyone's going to be in big trouble.
So what happened last year? Because so Carrie and Holly always have Team Margarita set up. You must have somehow not seen them, because they just give margarita to everyone, basically. Not to put it out there, so everyone's like asking them for one, but they basically take care of all the lizards with margarita. So
we got there before they were there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've only finished one time without a margarita, and it was my year that I ran my fastest, and I got there before the margarita stand opened. big mistake.
But we were not trying to go fast. We just apparently beat them to when they were there.
Yeah.
So
no, this was one year I was really I was hauling. Like there was one year that I was actually pretty quick, and I don't know, because like I was 1 year, and I went through there at like 10, and I was like, dude, because I was gonna wait, and I'm like, I'm not gonna wait here for like 45 minutes for that stand to open. Like I want to finish. So I was like, dude, this is gonna end my streak. So trust me, I don't have that problem anymore. I'll be on the second shift of the cast members this time, probably about the margarita stand, but it'll be fine. It'll all be good. It works itself out. I just hope I get one.
it's all about meddling and fun. That's all that matters.
Exactly.
I'm all about the fun. So.
See. You know what though?
Well, I'm sure other people will call in. I cannot wait to see you guys in 30 plus days, both coasts, both in Florida and California. It's going to be so much fun. Can't wait to give you a big hug and see all the lizards, and it's going to be awesome.
It
so
is. And
looking forward to it.
We're probably going to do a show about just kind of getting ready for all the races and the weekends and stuff with Mike Bankhead. I've been emailing him. It's probably going to be one of the next few weeks where everybody can call in and kind of rally together. So be ready for that. Also, one other thing, Deanna has a great idea. Snow-capped candies. Because like, what's that all about? There you go. Kind of look like a little glacier.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's easy. I mean, that's way easier than a stuffed whale. But we got to see a stuffed whale under your tree. I need a picture, like seriously, because that's a challenge. Because that would mess up the kids. See, that'd be something like I just got to see it. Like they come down, there's like, why is there a whale under the tree like that? That's why you have kids. Be hilarious.
The year that we went on we were supposed to go on the Wonder, then it got canceled because of COVID. But the year that we were supposed to go on the Wonder, we put a pack of Wonder bread in the box, and the kids had never seen Wonder bread before because we don't eat white bread, so they were totally confused. Like, what is this? Like a pack of white bread, Wonder bread? Like, what is? They could not figure it out at all. It was hilarious, and it took them a long time to figure out like Wonder bread, Wonder ship. It was pretty funny. So,
okay.
But I love the snow caps. That's a great one. I think I'll have to go pick up some.
My head is still spinning that you guys don't eat Wonder bread. You know how many loaves of Wonder bread I've had in my life? Probably 1,000.
Yeah.
Just one of those things like Wonder bread, SpaghettiOs.
Organic bread. It's the best.
I mean, I live on Taco Bell
anyway,
too.
I know you've got other callers. I'm going to let you guys go. Can't wait to see you both and all the other friends and lizards and everybody. So, it's going to be awesome. And I'm on the countdown. January, here we come. Yeah,
that's right. Tick, tick, tick. All right. We'll see you soon. Tell the family we said hello. And
see you, Johnny.
MIZ. All right. See you.
I'm sorry.
See you later. Bye. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I seriously stuffed whale under that tree. Has to be. Or like a moose, like some kind of big animal.
I like it. I like all the suggestions. They were really good.
Not all of them. What about like a menagerie of stuffed animals? Like that they could encounter like an elk.
Yeah, I know. I love it.
How about what Nichelle says here in the live chat? She's tuned in on YouTube. When they did Alaska in 2011, they did a steak barbecue on the top deck.
I know.
When they went through the passage, man. How cool would that be, man? That sounds awesome. Sign me up.
Because on the Alaskan cruise, they have those like Minnie and Mickey have like those cute outfits where they have a coat and like scarf on it. It'd be awesome if they made a plush of that. They probably sell it on the ship, but so it'd be really hard to get before it. But that'd be a really cool thing to have too, though. But
yeah,
that might actually that would really give it away, though. There wouldn't be like any clues. Once you go through all the clues and then you hand them that, basically.
Yeah, you got to have that's good. That'd probably like your reveal right at the end. Like that's but you got to mess with them first. You got to keep it super vague. So
we only did something like that once. It was for Emily's birthday. We wrapped up like Christmas lights in a box because we had never seen Osborne lights, and that was like our way of saying, "Hey, we're going to Walt Disney World in 2 days, and we're going to see the Osborne lights." That was the only time we really did anything like that.
We've never done a surprise thing like that. I'm just terrible at keeping secrets. Because we do these trip reports every Monday, right? And I've had probably 100 different guests who've come on the shows over the years that have done that, right? That have said, okay, today's show, we're going to talk about, we surprised my kid, like they went to school. It was a Tuesday. And little did they know when they got on the bus, as soon as they got on the bus, I went in their bedroom, packed their suitcase. And then at lunchtime, I went to the school, picked them up in the car, suitcase in the car, got them. We're going to Walt Disney World. I'm like, I could not keep that secret. Like, the payoff would be worth it. but I love talking about it so much in the days leading up. Like, oh, and just like we did tonight. Like, I was like, Scott, dude, in a month we're gonna be at Walt Disney World. As soon as we connected on the phone, like, a month from now we'll be down there. Like, we'll be going to Olivia's. We'll be doing this. We'll be getting ready to race. We'll be, you'll have been there for 3 days already. It's that kind of conversations. Like, I guess it just takes discipline. I don't have it.
We like the surprises, but a lot of times though, the surprise is the next day after we book it. So those are really easy to keep for us. So, yeah.
Jennifer here in the Westplex here in St. Charles says, Alaska cruise is the most memorable. Hope you get to see calving, I guess. I guess that's maybe babies being born with whales or something. I'm using context. I have no idea. There may be non-dates or non-date Alaska clearance items at Character Warehouse while you're down there marathon weekend. Okay. Yes, you can go there if you want. I'm not.
Can I ask you a cruise question, Mike, or do we have a call?
No, go ahead. We don't have a call.
So the amount doesn't matter. You're being gifted this. Are you doing an Alaskan cruise? Are you doing a Norwegian cruise or a Mediterranean cruise?
Well, right now it's a simple solution because I don't have a passport, so I'm doing Alaska.
Okay, you have a passport. You have a passport.
I need one anyway because that's out of Vancouver. Man, the Norwegian fjords looks awesome.
That would be my pick. That would be my pick. Honestly.
That does look pretty good. That one looks like scenic wise, it looks amazing. Because like I'm really into like geothermal features, seeing stuff like that. Because I've been to Yellowstone, I've seen like that kind of stuff. But man, med cruises, holy cow, the history of those places you stop at.
I know. I like all 3 of those a lot.
Yeah, it's a tough question, man. That's a Sophie's choice. So you would do the fjords?
I think I would. I mean, eventually I want to do all 3 of those cruises at some point. And that might not be the first one we do out of those 3, but because you always talk about like you like the Caribbean cruises. I love them too. And like you forget sometimes like there's so many great other options for cruising. And like I just want to explore all these places. Mediterranean will probably be like the next one we do. But man, there's just so many great places that you can go to. And I think cruising is the best way to do it in a way, because I think you and I talked about this, just like having like not having to really like pack your stuff, right? You can see a lot of things and not have to worry about like packing your bags from hotel to hotel, things like that. Your hotel moves with you essentially with the cruise. So I like exploring. I like the idea of exploring that way. And then maybe like this is how I'm thinking for Mediterranean. We do that for our first time to Europe. We do the cruise, and then maybe we find a place that we really like, and then we actually go and visit that place on another trip. So that we don't have to hop around,
It's like the Whitman sampler, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Get a little taste and be like, oh, I like that. I'm going to go there for a full stay. That's a great way to look at things. I never thought about it that way. Yeah, we are going to get passports as a family this coming year. That's one of the things we talked about. So that will kind of open things up to us. I mean, I'm 50 now. I'm
get this man a passport. He's 50.
I'm growing up here. I'm going to get a passport one of these days and going to see the world. No, but I do want to see that stuff. I mean, you guys, I know this is a joke, but I'm a huge Love Boat fan. And like, I watch the Love Boat episodes where they sail the Med. And I'm always like, man, that'd be so cool. Right. I mean, except for like all the crazy stuff that happens when they're in Egypt. I don't want to end up in a tomb. All right. Who's joining us? Thanks for calling in.
Hey guys, this is Justin from North Carolina.
Hey Justin, what's going on?
Not too much. Just finished eating dinner. Actually, Taco Bell.
Hey, hang on. Good stuff.
Yeah. No, it's been a rough day. My Knowles are, not to get too much more in the college football talk, but the kind of got the disappointing news of today. I think I'm over it now, but it was hard this morning. But we got the Orange Bowl. We get Georgia, but yeah. So that's been my day.
Justin, I'm with you. I mean, I'm a Bama fan, so but yeah. There's no reason a 13-0 team shouldn't be in. I'm with you. I totally 100%. I'm with you. But let's talk something else to hopefully get your mind off.
Justin, you were at Disneyland Paris, right? Maybe we should talk about Disneyland Paris because I'm very intrigued about that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, no, that's what I was kind of calling to discuss something, a much nicer topic, last week when things then there was still hope there. So great trip. We did 5 days in Paris and then 2 days in Disneyland Paris. So and we were there for Thanksgiving, and Disneyland Paris. Like, first of all, Paris itself, that was an amazing trip. I mean, we kind of ran ourselves ragged. We tried to do every single thing. There was a couple of things we didn't get to, but we hit a lot of the major things. We went to Louvre, we went to Versailles, we went to the Eiffel Tower. We tried to do as much as we could, and it was amazing. It was definitely an amazing trip. So my rule with going to Disney places overseas is just like, I can't just go to Disney.
Good idea.
I have to go somewhere else. So, like, I don't want to, don't get me wrong, huge Disney fan. I go to Disney several times a year here. I'm born and raised in Orlando area, but my rule is always like, if I'm going to go overseas, I have to go somewhere other than just Disney. So that's kind of the rule. So, and that's, my wife and daughter are Disney fans by me. So it's kind of the same thing with them. So first 5 days of Paris were great. Yeah. No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, but let me just ask you real quick. Was there something in Paris besides the obvious that you would recommend that folks maybe check out if they go to Disneyland Paris? Because you mentioned like the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, stuff like that. But was there something that's kind of off the beaten path that folks might not know about that you'd recommend?
That's a hard one. Like I said, first time ever there. So we kind of hit like the greatest hits. I have to say that the two things, my favorite thing there was the Sacré-Cœur. That was amazing. Just kind of the feel, the vibe. I mean, I think most people have heard of that, but that was really cool. And although the weather wasn't great for the majority of the time we were there, when we went out to Versailles, that was just the history of walking through Versailles, and it was just like, kings and queens and, Marie Antoinette, and this is where the French Revolution. I mean, stuff like that. It's very much reminiscent of going out to Disneyland, with the history out there. So those were my two kind of like things like I thought were great. Again, not off the beaten path, but I guess off the beaten path is, do some research and find like a really cool neighborhood. The place we stayed, we were in, I won't get too far deep into it, but in Paris, the different neighborhoods are called arrondissements. Try to pick one of those that have like a lot of stuff to do. We were on a really awesome street, so we would walk right out, and there were, boulangeries and patisseries and food just everywhere. And like we didn't have a bad meal where we went, and we could just like walk down, and we wouldn't even need to leave our place. Like there were so many things there. So I think that's really the thing to look for. Is just like I think a lot of people think, oh, I'll stay near the Eiffel Tower, but near the Eiffel Tower, there's not a whole lot of stuff to do other than that. So, and the metro station in Paris is pretty easy to use. Now, I lived in New York City for 11 years, so that I feel that helped. But it's a pretty easy metro system to figure out, and you can just go anywhere. So find a really cool neighborhood that has just a lot of fun, like just a lot of stuff to do, and then make that your home base, and then go from there.
Good tip. So you had to have been hearing like the Impressions de France, like soundtrack in your head the whole time, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, like everywhere you went, you just had here, do. I'd have been like, oh my God, this is like real life.
Well, when we were driving, it was funny enough because we took the metro station from. We were really lucky because where we stayed, we were just steps away from what I understand. This is what they say is the largest metro station in the world. So all we had to do was get on one train, and that would take us out to Disney. Because Disneyland Paris, right, is not necessarily in Paris. Much like how Disney World isn't in Orlando, Disneyland Paris isn't in, the heart of Paris. So it's about a 45-minute train ride, from the middle of Paris, which it's not a bad ride. But I remember we were walking, our luggage, and I'm a notorious overpacker, so we're walking these big bags, here come my wife, myself, and my daughter with these big bags. Here come the Americans with all their luggage, and there was this guy on this bike, and the bike had to have been from the 80s, and that's exactly what I thought of. I was like, that's the guy. I know that's the guy from the movie. It's got to be him. So it's a sign. We picked the right day to go. So
fantastic.
I'd have totally had to get a picture with him.
Yeah, if I didn't have my hands full with all this luggage, like I would have. But it was just like, and I said, this is it. The next time we go overseas, we are not bringing all this. So it was way too much overpacking. So.
Oh my gosh. So real quick though, give us some tips for Disneyland Paris for those folks that are, domestic parks folks. What would you say?
So it's interesting, right? Because like that was my big thing. I do a ton of research and stuff like that. And, we ended up staying at the Sequoia. We stayed on property. I don't know that I would suggest staying on property there. Now, that being said, the Disneyland Hotel, which is supposed to open up next month, I think I would stay there because that thing they're doing a massive overhaul, and it's literally to get into Disneyland, you have to cross underneath the Disneyland Hotel. So I would maybe change my tune if I were staying there. The Sequoia Lodge was nice. I mean, obviously, just by the name of it, you can think Wilderness Lodge, but it was extremely, extremely dated. That was like my two kind of like everything was awesome. Everything it was such a great trip. But the two things that were kind of the negatives were the Sequoia Lodge was very dated. It literally looked like what it looked like from when it first opened. So there's that. So I think I would try to, if trying to save some money and stuff like that. Now I wouldn't stay in Paris and take the train there. Like I would stay near the park, but I don't know that staying on property there is quite the same. Unless, like I said, you can stay at the Disneyland Hotel, and I don't think that's necessarily a cheap place to stay. But then again, we all know that there's not a whole lot of stuff that's cheap for Disney. So that would be my thing. Just maybe if you can get into Disneyland Hotel, that to me, I think that's the way to go. So
sounds good. Scott, you have any questions?
The other, yeah, go ahead.
No, I want to hear Justin's next comment here.
I would say the other thing, and we had Thanksgiving dinner at I'm drawing blank on the name of the place. It's the Aladdin Agrabah's Cafe, and it's an all-you-can-eat menu, very similar to kind of like something you would have at like a Sanaa or even like a Boma type. We weren't a fan of the food. A lot of the food, I was surprised. We just spent 5 days in Paris where the food was amazing. And maybe that's part of the problem, right? You spend 5 days in Paris and the food, one of the food capitals of the world, and you come here and it's like, and I usually love Disney food. It's just, I was a little disappointed by the food. It wasn't quite the same type quality, I guess, that you get in the domestic parks. So I would say, funnily enough, the best things we ate there, Earl of Sandwich.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, so
see that's my style.
Yeah,
I love Earl.
That's
where Thanksgiving dinner should have been, huh?
Yeah, exactly. It was crazy. I was like, oh, we should have just been there. Either than those two things, I mean, it was kind of a surreal experience. I mean, I think it was the coldest I've ever been in a Disney park, and it wasn't super cold, but like, we were in jackets and hats and stuff like that. The fireworks were really cool. They were different. They're not the fireworks aren't heavy fireworks. There are a lot of projection shows, and we were a little sad because they weren't doing they do a lot of the drone shows.
That's what I was say. Yeah, they did that
drone.
Yeah, dang. Yeah, those drones are cool.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of those.
Was there an attraction that kind of blew you away or exceeded your expectations at all that we might not have, like in the States?
So yes, their version of Thunder Mountain, I loved it. We went on that twice. It was great, and I love their version, the paid preferred pass. It's pricey, but you pay one fee and you can go on. You can go in and you can just like basically go. It's very much how how it works at Universal. Very similar. You just pay the one fee. I think it's like €80 a day, and you get to walk on every ride, once. So it's a lot of money, which that's not always great, but it's easy.
Yeah.
And you don't have to try to figure it out. But yeah, their version of Thunder Mountain, loved it. Even my daughter, who she used to love thrill ride. She doesn't love them so much anymore. We went on that twice. Hyperspace Mountain, and awesome. And the one ride they have there that they don't have anywhere else is the Crush Coaster over in the studios. It's, you know, based on the Finding Nemo. We love that. That was such a cool little coaster. So those were kind of our three, you know, things that we really loved.
And their Thunder Mountain
we did
is
the Avengers stuff there.
Their Thunder Mountain's on an island, if I recall, right?
Yeah. It's a completely I'm trying to think. It kind of puts you in the mind of. It's just more intense, but yeah, it's a much more intense, you know, ride. But just fun. Same fun energy, but just a little more intense. You know, their version of Haunted Mansion, the Phantom Manor, that's great. We love that. You know, we would have tried to get on that again. We were there for essentially a day and a half, and I don't think you need more than a couple days there. We probably could have spent another day there to hit everything, and then got on the couple of extra rides we wanted to do again. But we got to do some of the Avengers stuff out there I haven't been to Disneyland since the Avengers stuff there, and so we got the Spider-Man ride, which was cool. But I'm pretty sure it's the same thing at Disneyland. They have an Iron Man themed ride that's essentially the same ride as Rock and Roller Coaster.
Nice.
So that was fun. And I'm trying to think. They had a little version of Food and Wine. They had like a little Winterfest thing over in by the Remy's restaurant. You know, we did ride Remy's. It's the same exact ride. I couldn't see a difference. Maybe it's a little longer, but we didn't get the smells like we did here at Epcot. But I do find sometimes at Epcot the smells are stronger than others. So I don't know if it was just one of those situations where it just wasn't as strong. But yeah, other than that, like I know, you know, they had a little. It was during the Christmas time, and they played killer Christmas music on Main Street. Like it was just some, you know, they were really pushing some really good Christmas songs out there. So
I actually use their Main Street background loop for background music for our show in the Christmas season. It's the Disneyland Paris background loop because it's so good.
Oh yeah. That's the first thing I said. I'm like, they go hard with these Christmas carols here. I mean, I'm impressed. I like them. So,
you will hear it.
But yeah, great time. It was definitely different energy, but fun. You know, the language barrier that wasn't an issue at all. You know, most people are, you know, pretty nice. And like I was saying earlier, I had every intent and purposes of this. Like I knew I was like, I'm gonna leave here broke. I'm gonna buy so many things, and I didn't. You know, one, there was a lot of hoodies, and I can't buy any more hoodies. I have a bunch of hoodies, and you know. North Carolina gets cold, but I don't need 10 hoodies, like, you know, so, yep. And also you know, like the sizing, I'm a little bigger, you know, I mean, I get my runs in, but, you know, like, you know, sizing was, you know, a little off for me. I didn't see anything I love, but, you know, two, I think I'm starting to get to a point to where, with buying stuff at Disney, I mean, I go so much, like, do I need that? Holiday, you know, hoodie
Justin,
that I'm gonna wear 1 month.
That's a great topic because I'm there. Like I used to buy so much merch, and I haven't bought anything at Walt Disney World probably in a couple of years, other than like I'll buy one thing at like an expo for a race. Like I'll buy a jacket or something. But I used to buy something like every trip, and now I'm just like, I don't feel like the urgency because I don't go really that much. I go a few times a year, but I used to buy something like every trip, you know, or like 2 or 3 things every trip, and I don't know. One, because my wife gets on me, right? Because when you said that about the hoodie thing, I mean, here I'm wearing a new hoodie that I just got for my birthday last week. But like, I have so many hoodies in my closet, like, you know, Disney ones too, because I get one every marathon weekend, you know, race one, and then you get all the shirts and all. You're exactly right, though. It's kind of a funny topic that how your merchandise purchasing kind of changes over the years. That's great. Kind of. I like that. Thinking about that.
You know, yeah, that's what it was. It's like, I'm going to bring something. And I did. I wanted to find a shirt, you know, that was, but I'm very picky now with stuff just to that point. I don't need to bring any more home. And I almost forgot. And I don't know how to slipped my mind, but my absolute favorite thing there is the dragon under the castle.
I've heard that.
That was is so cool. Like it really was like, and that's what I wanted to buy. Actually, I went online and I found something because they sell merch for like their different things. They had, the only thing they had for the dragon were like the little lounge flies. And, I'm a 49-year-old, man, that I'm not buying a lounge fly, but, that was my favorite thing. I don't know how I almost forgot about that, but, that is such a cool thing. My daughter was like, oh, they should bring that to the States. And I'm like, no, it's kind of cool that you have to come here to see that because it's such a unique thing to that castle.
They should do more of that. It should just be in one place and you got to go see it. Like, it doesn't have to be everywhere. Like Cars Land needs to just be at Disneyland. Like, you know what? That gives you a reason to go to Disneyland. I mean, yeah, it'd be great if it was at the studios, but then it wouldn't be as cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I like that you can only see it at Disneyland. That's great. Yeah, I agree.
Agree. No, I definitely agree. Yeah. So, but that was it. Like I said, we loved it. Like I know they're building the Frozen Land there, so it's kind of like when I went out to Disneyland for the first time a couple of years ago. I was like, I don't know that I'm going to be back out there. And then of course I'm going here in January to run. So like, now I don't know that I'll be back out in France anytime soon, but I do know our big trip, for 2025 is probably going to be Japan. So, that'll be the next, foray out into an overseas Disney trip, but I think anybody, like if you're thinking about doing it, just go, like spend some time in Paris and then spend a couple of days out there. I think 2 days, 3 days at the most, you'll get to hit things and you'll see a different, just thing similar, but just different enough. So.
Well, hey, it sounds like you had a great time, and your tips have definitely helped us all out, and it's got me excited to get over there someday. So, like I said, I'm getting a passport, and I'm going to use that sucker. So, but you know what, Japan, like William says, I've always wanted to go to Tokyo and that that area because I've seen it on Amazing Race and stuff like that. And I mean, it just, to me, again, somebody that's never traveled international other than just like on cruises to a couple islands in the Caribbean, it just looks like so futuristic, like when you see Tokyo at night, it just looks like, oh my God, that's the future. Like it's so wild and then because of what I've learned from the parks over there with Tokyo Disney Sea and Tokyo Disneyland, I mean, the attention to detail on the theming and, especially the attractions and just everything and how they celebrate the cultural differences in the parks, I think just has me so curious to get in there too. So what I like is what you said at the top of the call, right? Disney connection, but also the outside of Disney larger cultural experience. So yeah, I'm all about that.
Right.
Well, thanks for the
I
call.
have to prove to people that I just don't go to Disney.
That's awesome. Well, hey, hang in there and go out there and win that bowl game and go undefeated and claim a national championship.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. Sounds good.
All
you guys
right.
take care. Have a good rest of your
Thanks, Justin.
You too, buddy. We'll see you at the races. All right. We'll see you later.
See you guys. Yep, we'll be there.
Okay. See you later. Bye-bye. I love having friends like that. How cool. That's a great call.
Yeah, I mean, Paris is on our radar, like 24 or maybe next year or 25. So excited to hear that recap because I want to do the same thing. Like have Disneyland Paris be a part of that trip, but it's definitely not going to be the whole thing. It'd either be the first thing we do for like 2 days or the last thing for 2 days, like Justin just did. He had our trip planned out basically how we want to do it, and that's awesome.
And I think that's is Disney fans. I think when you first jump in, that you want to again. He made lots of great points that really got me thinking on that call because as we're first Disney fans, we want to come home with a suitcase full of souvenirs, right? I mean, we want to make sure we come home with 17 t-shirts, 3 coffee mugs. And I mean, I think we all have done that, right? Your first couple times, you just want to bring home as much Disney as possible. So every day of the week, you have a different mug. And then as you go, over a decade or, some of us have been going for multiple decades and we're very lucky. but you just don't need all that stuff because it just, it accumulates, right? And so you don't need it every time you got a rack. All of a sudden you look at your closet and 65% of your wardrobe is, Disney shirts and stuff like that. So you're forced to cut back. But I like that when you first go to Disney, like it's kind of that theme park resort time split, right? When you first go to Walt Disney World, for example, when you're new, it's like you want it to be a 95% theme park time. The only time you want to be at your resorts to sleep. And now, like where you and I are, we talk about this all the time. Like if it's not at least a 50-50 split, like we're doing it wrong. And most of the time it's probably like a 30-70 like theme park resort time split. And we're totally cool with that. Like that's a good split for us, but it's different for everybody. And I think that's fine.
Yeah. I'm not like you and Justin on the merchandise. Like I love my merchandise and I spread it out though. Like I come back, I was talking about the Riviera shop earlier. Like I love buying Disney art and just hanging it on my walls in my house, or I like buying certain seasons. Like I like buying like Halloween stuff. So I bring it out during Halloween and then I put it away and then the new season comes and now we got our Disney Christmas stuff. So I like to splash into all the areas of merchandise and I'm always coming home with stuff because I just love to decorate our house with Disney merchandise. But that's just kind of how I roll.
Well, I think art makes sense, right? Because art's something that's not like, I'm not saying clutter, but something that you bring home and then you're like, a month later, you're like, what am I going to do with this? Because like mugs are a great example, right? I think a lot of people bring home mugs and they're great at the time, but they take up a lot of space after a while when you start bringing. I mean,
you would love to see our cabinet.
You should see mine too. I mean, because we have so many mugs, and so we have to I had to put them down. My bottom shelf behind me is all mugs because they were falling out upstairs. But I also don't want to get rid of them because like a couple of those mugs, one is a refillable mug that says Disney's Port Orleans French Quarter. One says Disney's Polynesian Resort from way back in the day when each resort had their own refillable mug. I'm not getting rid of those, but I mean. They're also super small. Like there's no way I'm going to use it because it hardly holds any liquid. They're so tiny.
Yeah. So those mugs, we've actually donated a lot of those to charities and stuff. Because we used to buy those resort mugs all the time. Now we buy like the coffee mugs. Like, so we have like all the Starbucks mugs for every state and city we've been to and all that. And that's what I was talking about. You should see our cabinet is just insane. But I still like the clothes too, though. Like, I mean, you guys are saying like you don't buy the shirts. I don't buy t-shirts. You know that I don't wear t-shirts. Yeah. But I love getting like we talked about the resort merchandise. I have a contemporary polo. I have a boardwalk polo. I have a Riviera. But like I just love buying like all these different like Disney polos, and then I can wear them to work too, or I can wear them on the golf course and stuff like that. So I do get a lot of use out of that. So I'm just always guilty. Like on Alani, I came back with a Alani new golf shirt. Like, I just always am buying golf shirts at Disney on every Disney trip basically because I like to dress that way. And William's right. Like I think he said half of his wardrobe is like Disney shirts. I feel the same way.
I mean, you guys know because you see me because we do 5 shows a week. If you watch a Patreon, 4 if you don't. I mean, you see I'm always in either Mizzou stuff, and I'll be honest, the reason I'm in Mizzou stuff all the time, I got 90% of this stuff for free because when Paige was on staff with Mizzou, she just brought home everything that the coaching staff got, like, because they're sponsored by Nike. So she brought home all the gear. I got the coach's gear for 2 years. So all that stuff that I have is what the sideline gear. I got the tennis, I got the Nike shoes. I got the Nike hat. I got 7 different kinds of stocking caps. I got the Nike sweatpants. I got 10 different kinds of sweatpants. I got all the sweatshirts. I got tights and undershirts, and I got everything the coaches have. So I'm stocked. And I mean, the deal is I never leave the house. I mean, I do the show and I don't ever go anywhere. So this is the only time I interact with people is right here. And so you see me in Mizzou stuff, you see me in Disney stuff. If I had a reason to go out, I'd put on a collared shirt. That would be like a golf shirt. But ever since 2017, I have no reason, so. And
I get it too. And I see Justin commented, like when he goes to Alani, he'll be buying a bunch of stuff. And that's kind of how I was too, because it was new. And honestly, I didn't spend as much as I thought I would in Alani, kind of like what you were with Disneyland Paris. Like I had this like budget in mind, and like, oh my God, I even told you, Mike, before the trip, like I'm gonna have to pack an empty suitcase because I'm gonna come back with so much stuff, and I wasn't even close to that, But But yeah, like you see, I got an art piece behind me that I need to hang up, but I just
See,
bought
that's
like a
cool,
lot of.
'cause every time you see that, it's gonna bring back a memory like that.
Yeah,
That's
this
epic,
was awesome
right?
too. I didn't even talk about this on the trip report, but the artist was there, so he signed it for us. So we got to meet with him. He took a photo with us. I think he posted it on his Instagram with him like signing our piece. It was super cool. But yeah, but like so that's what I tried to do now is try to find more unique things at Walt Disney World. Yeah, I'm not buying a Walt Disney World t-shirt, like kind of like what you're saying. Like you've done that so many times, right? But if I can find something new to like a resort or if it's like it's tied to like a season, like a festival of the arts thing or something that I think is really cool, like I'll buy that stuff now. But like it's just my style has kind of changed, I guess, from the like 10 years ago when I was buying merchandise.
Agree, because I used to would have bought something that said like Illuminations, but like I'm not into that like anymore. I don't know. Like the last like cool thing I bought, I think that was nice. You were with me. Like I'm really into just like the Mickey ringer tees for a while. I like those, just Mickey Mouse on them. Those are cool.
Yeah,
I like those in the summer, but
yeah,
also
you do love your ringer tees. Yeah,
I like those in summer. There's the classic Mickey Mouse. That's all they are in ringer tees. But remember we got that black. It was like a Nike black, just kind of a black
like little pullover,
long sleeve like polo shirt. And I mean that's just because that's something you could wear like to church or wear to work or around the house or whatever. But here's the mug I'm talking about here on the video feed. I mean, like this one. Remember when every resort had this mug? Like, and it had the name of the resort.
That was before my time.
Okay, this is like 20 years ago. Every resort had their own mug that looked like this. There's one that says French Quarter. Like, I'm not getting rid of this thing, but literally, this thing holds like no lick. It's so small. Like, you go to the soda machine and be like, empty.
At least you didn't have to worry about the rapid refill system back then.
No, you didn't have to worry
wait 10 minutes.
It was ridiculous. It was so small. But I mean, again, these things are, I mean, it doesn't hold much drink, but it's huge. I mean, this thing is big and you can't take it in your car because this thing ain't gonna sit in your hole, in your Jeep because this big old handle, but it's, it's a memory. It's a bygone era. So what do you do with it?
Another souvenir you get every year too. It's kind of pricey. You don't really think about it at the time. Are those Run Disney medals? Those are little pricey souvenirs you come home with.
Those are, but again, those are something you can hang on the wall, though. So
I know they're
don't
great.
take a lot of space.
That's kind of why I do it.
And they have a story behind them. Like that's what, like your art, because every one of your art pieces kind of has a story, right? It's a stay, it's a trip. That's why I do like Run Disney medals, because every one of them has some kind of a story.
Exactly. There's a story about, we talk about how even if they're banged up a little bit, that's kind of part of the story. But then like he knows I'm going to bash him on this, but that's fine. Like, but Joe, like, I don't understand. He just throws them in a drawer. I'm like, man, like put those things on display. You worked hard for that stuff, but
Joe Fickus, Joe
Fickus. Yeah. He just throws them in a drawer like a junk drawer. I'm like, man, no, like I'd love to display those medals.
I mean, I mean, I don't like bow down to my medals or anything, but I do hang them up. So I see them like when I come down every morning, I do want to eventually move them in here.
But the thing is, like you to a certain point, like you do kind of have to put them somewhere, right? Because like, or else it's just going to fall off the wall, or your whole house is going to be metal racks. So what I do now, I just interchange them, but depending on the season. So like all my marathon medals are kind of hanging right now because marathon weekend's coming up. Then I'll change them to my princess ones. So I just kind of change them throughout the year, depending on the season. And then sometimes I'll just put like my favorite ones out.
That's all I have to do. I got Dopey from last year hanging right there, so I'll have to do a little rotation. But hey, I mean, I love talking about this stuff because it is kind of the journey of the Disney fan, right? I mean, Justin called in and talked international parks. We got to talk Disney Cruise Line, Alaska, surprising your kids at Christmas. I mean, that's what it's all about. We talked a little shopping, best stores at Walt Disney World, and getting ready for another race weekend. Holy!
And give Kids the World. Don't forget, if you can. I mean, it's the holiday season. Anytime you can donate is great, but just think about those families. If you can give a little to Give Kids the World, that would be awesome this holiday season.
That's right. It's gktw.org. If you want to go to their website, you can donate there anytime. And, also if you're in the Central Florida area, you're going down for a trip, do a shift. Because now, we're everybody that kind of signed up and volunteered with us in September, I think you got on that email list. And we see that they need volunteers all the time. And volunteer there is fun. I mean, sometimes you get to serve breakfast or lunch, and sometimes you get to drive the train. They have like a little train set. Sometimes you get to help people on other little rides they have around the village. Sometimes you get to escort families to their villas. Just all kinds of fun stuff. It's not necessarily like grunt work. A lot of times you are on the front line interacting with the families and getting to make the magic. So give it a shot. I mean, we really got to have a really positive experience with our volunteer time down there in September. So I'd encourage you. It really kind of is what the season's all about. So
For sure.
Can do it. All right. So Scotty, I know that you're flying it's UNM this week. So hopefully you guys have a great week.
Single dad life this week. Yeah.
Sounds like a sitcom.
So like when Elizabeth left, like, because our house looks so cozy right now with the tree and the fire and the stockings, and it's like,
look cozy.
And it's so super clean right now. And like she just started this new candle. It smells like Christmas in our house. So when she left for the airport today, I told her, like, I can't promise it's going to smell as Christmassy as it does right now, but I will do my best. So that's the goal.
Bath and Body Works.
So I have a reminder to set that same candle like Thursday night, just to like bring some new scent into the house. So hopefully I can bring the house exactly how it was when she left.
Here's a secret. Pam always throws these things in here. Plugins. It's a little thing you plug into your plug.
I'm not going to use a plug-in, but yeah, I got you.
They are potent because there's one in here right now. This thing potent because when you close the door, man, it smells like elf. It's like farted in here because it's so strong. It is so Christmassy in here right now because this thing, I don't know what it must be on full blast. She plugged this thing in this afternoon. Woo! Santa came in here and sprayed it down, man. It is so Christmassy in here. I'm almost Christmas drunk. It's crazy. I'm looking at it right now. The thing is like, I don't know. It's going. Anyway, we had a good time tonight. Thanks for the calls. We have great shows this week. Again, Monday show, which if you're listening live is coming out here in less than an hour. We're taking you. It's us two again. So you're going to get more of us. We're taking you to Hawaii with part one of Scott's trip out to Alani for his 40th birthday. It's probably going to end up being a 3-part show. I say it's a 2-part show, but it's probably going to be 3. Just a good time. I mean, we have a good time talking about the logistics of getting there, how the trip came together, the resort stay, the entertainment, the dining around Alani, the resort room review, stuff like that, Scott. So, I mean, real quick.
Yeah, that was basically it. We really focused on the pools, the dining, the logistics, the ocean. We didn't really talk about the characters and the like the activities you can do. So I think we're going to kind of dive into that, not to tease it, but for next round, but give you a good general idea of like how awesome Alani is. And then, we'll kind of keep this going this winter, I think, and share a couple more episodes about it.
Absolutely. So Wednesday we'll have listener questions. I forget that I just don't give the email address very often. If you want to email a question in, so it's Mike@BRGuestPodcast.com. Please email questions. That would be awesome. Mike@BRGuestPodcast.com. Just put listener question in the heading, drop it in. We'll get right to it on the show. So that'll be for Wednesday. We record those on Mondays though, so get them in right away if you can. And then on Friday, we'll all be together for a topical show. So join us for that as well. Don't forget, you can follow us on the social media. Scott's at Epscott, EPSCOT. I'm at BRGuestMike and all the social media locations. We are brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan that next Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Adventures by Disney trip. So just swing by the website this week over at themagicforless.com. No cost to you. Absolutely free. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link as you shop this holiday season. It's BeOurGuestPodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you to our patrons. You guys are awesome. You guys make it possible. So Patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. Get that bonus show. It's Mike in the Midwest. Just $5 a month for all of our shows. We appreciate your support. Come on over. Also, next Sunday night, we'll have another live show, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. Join us unless you are a spammer. Then do something else with your life. Quit bugging us. But we're going to have a good time with our podcast community because we have the best. We have a good time. And we're getting you ready for Christmas, for New Year's, for all the bowl games, and for marathon weekend. This month is going to fly by, but we're going to take that hour and just have a good time getting together, talking Disney as we do on Sunday nights. So we're going to get out of here. Wish you a great week. We'll be back together with a little Aloha talk here shortly. So for Scott up in Michigan, I'm Mike here in Missouri. You guys have a great night. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Go
Live Aloha. Live Aloha.
Right. All right. Yeah, I missed the. We're glad Rhonda Lee's back. We didn't have a show last week, so I'm glad we're kind of back in the swing of things here. I was all off my schedule last week.
Yeah, I don't even know what I did last week. I don't know.
Man, they lost by 3 points last week. It was
man,
they couldn't hit a free throw.
That happens sometimes.
Oh, that just bugs me. All right, well, have a good one with them.
Yeah, thanks. She dropped Elizabeth off like with my in-law, so I'm not even sure she's home yet. So I should probably go see if she's home.
All right. Well, I'll send that text out in the morning and see
All
what's up with everybody. I don't know.
All right. Sounds good, man. All right. I'll see you. Have a good night, everyone.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.